Welcome to the Musing Live Show. I'm your host and muser, Tonya D, and on this week's Muse, I will be sharing some insights on signs. Last week's Muse was about signs and symbols, so be sure to watch the replay on Facebook, What's Up Tonya D, and I'll be uploading it up to YouTube very soon. Your shadow is a dark omen, a powerful teacher that reveals to you the places in your life you are energetically blocked. When you continue to ignore these signs, you perpetuate the cycle of your suffering. If you are watching the replay or are new to my live show, my musings are sometimes a bit random, but hopefully they inspire you to become aware of your spirit. I invite you to check out my What's Up Tonya D page on Facebook, and also check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, of course, again, Tonya D. For weekly musings, give me some love, like, share, and please do comment. And if you like somebody else's comment, give them some love too. What is a sign? We receive signs all the time, even though most of us are actually unaware of them. Besides being able to recognize signs as we carry on throughout our day, the most relevant place that signs reside is actually in our dreams. From nature, even through other people. There is actually an endless plethora of sources for signs. Some are even hidden. Others hit us smack dab right in the middle. The importance of signs in the fact that while embodied, our gifts are limited. It's a task to obtain a bird's eye view of reality when we are walking with 2 feet on the ground. The awareness of signs can alert us to danger, give and reveal choices, instruct us on decisions, along with providing instruction. And most important in my world, assisting in healing. They can be both helpful and harmful from the different areas of reality, which are the world of nature, the world of human beings, the world of energy, the world of spirit, and the spirit world. Within each of these realities exist signs that we need to connect with. The world of nature is the natural world that surrounds us, including the figures that we perceive, animals, plants, and even the cosmos or the galaxy, and those that we not necessarily see, like fairies, elemental beings, and even planetary figures. In the human world, human souls, both alive and in essence of spirit or have passed, the energy world are the masters, the interdimensional beings or figures, powers, and forces. The world of spirit and the spirit world includes angels, demons, and everything in between, along with the Holy Spirit, the heavens, and the spirit of love. The plethora of sources available makes it extremely important to separate the meaning along with the trustworthiness of the sign. How do we recognize signs when we are getting them? How do we interpret the signs that we are receiving? How do we actually ask for one when we want one? Here are a few tips in recognizing signs. You first have to see it to follow it. The first and the basic rule is that you'll receive a sign based on your gift, your genius, or your psychic gift type. Receiving signs can be visual, auditory, or verbal, and kinesthetic. Visual signs involve inner or outer seeing or sight. I do this through dreams and a waking state. I receive images, shapes, colors in my mind's eye, either in response to a question, a situation, or even a problem. My guardian or guides often send me visions, revelations, or even messages in the evening through dreams or during the day when daydreaming or driving to work, sometimes even perceiving them with normal sight. Do you keep seeing the same person on the same street corner day after day? Read the same words on the street signs no matter where you are? Repetition is often an indication of a sign. Listen to my musing show, The Sacred Garden. I kept seeing the same vision for over a week. Verbal signs. Verbal signs are amazing too. It's a higher voice you hear within you, even songs that pop into your head. You could be meditating on a question and turn on the music or the TV and hear a response spot on. Even reading a meaningful phrase in a book, write a message to yourself, or reflect on something said out of the blue. Now, kinesthetic gifts are concrete and sensory, and the main type is nature-based. We are all part of the elemental world and members of the animal kingdom too. Why wouldn't nature assist us? We affect it, and it in turn affects us. Most of the native spiritualities, like the Indians in America and the shamans of other countries, honor the spirits of nature. Things unexpected, obvious, and repetitive presences of certain elements or birds, reptiles, shift in the climates, believing that spirits of these places or beings are sending messages. There are a variety of books about reading nature signs, and I encourage you to investigate this area if it sparks an interest in you. Other kinesthetic gifts include any other sudden or repetitive occurrence. Do rocks keep falling on your head? If so, what's hitting you in the head? Or do you keep stubbing your toe? I pay attention to the signs in many facets. For instance, even on Facebook, when someone posts things that are happening in their world, I always sense there's a message the spirit world is trying to convey to them. Sometimes, even when you are so miserable in your workplace and you wonder why you got fired, well, your spirits heard you and they are literally moving you to the place you are supposed to be. I find people aren't listening to the messages, and if you are ignoring some major issue, whether it be a relationship, work, or whatever, they create or can cause disaster if you don't deal with them. Spiritual kinetic gifts are either sensed or known, even though some of the spiritual-based energy centers in and out of the body can access different dimensions and realms of spirit. Signs like this might and can come from or through spirit visitations, angelic contacts even, when in a dream state, soul journeying, or even performing an everyday task. Basically, I label or read an occurrence as a sign if it meets a few criteria. It is sudden and unexpected. It happens 3 times. That's an all-known message there. You are filled with a sense of meaning. The event is out of sync with normal reality. Others tell you it's important. There's a supernatural or paranormal sense to an event. You feel initiated into an evolved or mystical state. The potential sign stays in your mind long after it happens, or you cannot change the vision, message, or feelings or conform it to match your desires. Interpreting signs, once you've recognized them, you have to figure out what they mean, right? You've spotted a stop sign on the side of the road. Now, do you know how to respond? Interpreting a sign is an ongoing life process, and one that can involve all of your skills, both sourcing and discernment, or a perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual direction and understanding. Know that you can always use prayer, meditation, or contemplation, the 3 spiritual processes used to gain the Great Spirit or the Divine's perspective of the sign itself. Here are a few keys that help any psychic or intuitive gift in interpreting the signs. Ask yourself these questions. Can I trust the source? Is this sign important? Is it for me or someone else? I ask that one a lot. Does it show me something that can happen, what might happen or should happen? Does it show me something I must do to create a great future for myself or for others? If I ignore it, will something bad happen? If I pay attention, something good happen? There are a few others, but you get the gist of it. But most importantly, rely on your inner self. We are all spiritual beings, and our innermost aspect of spirit already knows the answers. Trust and protect your own instincts. They won't lead you wrong. Asking for signs. In the Bible, Jesus is reported to tell us that we only have to ask and we shall receive. You can ask for a sign for anything and for any reason. There is no issue too big or even too small for the divine. The key is to petition or pray directly to the divine for a sign. Being visually psychic or intuitive, you can imagine that you are typing your request and handing a note to the divine or an angel. Mine would be my guardian at the moment. Clip a picture from a magazine that reflects your need or your inquiry. Go ahead and tape it to an obvious place. Circle a date on the calendar and ask the divine to send you a date by then. Even conducting a vision quest every day, giving the Great Spirit a certain amount of time, say 3 days, to help you, and then pay attention for signs during those days. Being verbal or utilizing auditory psychic gifts or intuition, you can pray out loud, write down or petition a request that way. Tell a friend about your situation or problems and that you are requesting a sign and have them hold faith with you. I did this when the real estate crash happened. I petitioned the Spirit and they sent me a guide in my dream. Faith was the key, and I woke up knowing everything was going to work out. I just needed to trust my guide and have faith. I woke up in a peaceful state, and I knew a higher power was going to take over, and it did. You can even select a song that reflects your need and sign it out loud. Be verbal, and the sign will come. Kinesthetic intuition or psychics can trust their bodies, the environment, and nature. Wear a certain piece of jewelry or an accessory even, or carry a crystal or a blessed rock, a talisman. Having charged it with your request, decide that until you receive a sign, you'll wear a certain item of clothing. Set a talisman, plant or rock or picture in your environment that represents your request, something that you can see every day. Whenever passing by it, thank the divine for the sign you'll receive. Spend time in nature and invite it to share with you. The 3 main types of psychic sensitivities are kinesthetic, verbal, and visual. Kinesthetic is receiving or sending psychic information of the sensory or feeling nature. Verbal is receiving or sending messages through auditory means. Visual is receiving or sending psychic information visually. I utilize all 3. However, even these are subdivided into physical or spiritual kinesthetic gifts. Physical is the everyday reality to help you function in your body, and the spiritual links you with the divine or the greater spirit and the world of spirits. Meaning, while the physical kinesthetic gifts keep you alive, the spiritual kinesthetic gifts assist you in meeting your spiritual purpose. Individuals that are highly gifted in the physical arena will be highly physical themselves. If you tend toward the spiritual, you'll be interested in and attracted to things that are mystical, outer worldly, religious, and even spiritual. While the psychic gifts make sure that you survive and intuition helps you thrive, the spiritual gifts guarantee you divine protection and guidance so you can fulfill your spiritual journey. Cindy Dell. The order of these follows your energetic fields, your centers, and pathways. More on this later, because we are all intuitive and psychic in a variety of ways. I feel as if we are either opening up or shutting it down completely. When someone is in a spiritual crisis or even a physical crisis, there is a message there. It's in the listening, the seeing and sensing where the healing often begins. When you are in the cycle of chaos, honestly, I feel the best thing to do is petition the divine, even your ancestors if need be. Do this in solitude. It's in the asking and the receiving. The challenge is in the watching and the being aware of the signs. My online course, The Balance of Being, is an amazing place to begin. It's a sensory course in my club, but know that even though it's sensory, you will start opening up to the spiritual as well. If you haven't registered for the 6 phases of natural transformation, follow the link in the sidebar and register there. I will be going live later on today. You have a few choice times too. Plus, if you just subscribe, at least you'll be sent the replay and can watch it later for a limited time. Plus some real-time exciting news to be announced in the live webinar for those of you that register. It's hard for me to zip my lip on this one, but I am zipped up on the etheric at the moment. To learn more about my online courses and events, visit tonyad.tv, and you can catch up on my podcasts. This year's focus is the Nature series. Read some of my blog posts, go to my club and check out the venues of courses in my corridor, and so much more. Thanks for engaging in this week's Musing Show, and as always, I am grateful for your presence, liking, sharing, and commenting on my musings too. Cheers!